And finally, new rule. Someone has to break it to America's travel vloggers that the part of life where you're retired and joyride around the country, that's supposed to come after the working for a living part, not before it. Now, in recent weeks, the country has been transfixed with the story of a young woman murdered while traveling in a van with her boyfriend. And while too much attention has already been paid, this case has taught me a few things. First, that Nancy Grace is still alive. And second, how extensive is this movement of young hipsters rejecting the dreary working life of us normies to instead explore the country in a van, which I found very odd. This is what retirees do. They get an RV and visit our nation's many historic outlet malls. It's what Clarence Thomas and his hideous wife do for kicks. You want to emulate them? What's next? Taking up shooting birds on the ground like Dick Cheney? But of course, the whole point of van life is to film your travels and put them on YouTube. You're not a hobo, you're a content provider. Let other people work stupid jobs like nurse or teacher. You figured out a way to monetize fucking off. Yeah, you and everybody else in your generation. According to the LA Times, content creators are the fastest growing type of small business in the US. By one estimate, over 50 million people worldwide now consider themselves to be online creators or influencers. When we used to ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'd say, firefighter, astronaut. Now most 60-year-olds would probably say, I want to be Instagram famous, bitch. And I guess why not? The supposedly media-savvy millennials and Gen Zers really do buy stuff just because some ding-dong holds it up on Instagram. They laugh at boomers buying crap on QVC, but you're doing the same thing. Grandma's buying Tupperware, you're selling mascara to each other. The only difference is she's suffering from dementia. What's your excuse? I mean, I get why nobody wants the jobs that Del Taco is offering. But honestly, that's exactly where Brian Laundrie should be working. He was never destined to be InstaFamous. He was destined to forget the fries in my cheeseburger combo. I keep hearing that there are no good jobs out there. Well, there certainly are many shitty jobs out there. But there are also millions of openings in professional and business services, education, health, construction, retail, manufacturing. America right now has more job openings than at any time in its history, and more than there are people looking. A lot of the time, there are no good jobs out there just means I want to be Kim Kardashian. It means I want my job to be I'm me, and people pay to watch that. What's the fallback career? Marijuana tester? 72% of Gen Zs say they'd like to be an online celebrity. They don't even want to achieve something that makes them famous. That would involve that pesky step of developing some sort of talent or skill. No. Getting followers, that is the achievement. I'd say take a good long look at yourself, but plainly that's all you do all day. We spent decades dismantling the patriarchal notion that women should stay home and not work, and then the Kardashian phenomenon happened. Now it seems like millions want to, stay home and not work. This generation's financial plan is hitting the jackpot. Getting paid to do nothing is their highest goal. So spoiled by parents who told them, all you have to do is do you. That they think it's fascinating for us to watch them order eggs at a diner. But how long can we go on selling each other our life stories as the basis for an economy? It doesn't feel sustainable. You can't all be the Truman Show. Most of the time, what these vloggers are reporting on is, in their travel, is just themselves. This just in, we woke up. It's hard to wrap my head around this level of narcissism, of so many people trying to make a living by taking pictures of themselves like they're their own paparazzi. Everyone wants to know what went on in that van between Brian and Gabby. I want to know why filming van life is something anyone would find remotely interesting to begin with. Home movies have never been interesting. That is as true in the YouTube era as it was back when kids had to sit through Uncle Morty's Super 8 footage of his trip to Cypress Gardens. But at least he didn't ask us to hit the like button and subscribe to it. I'm sorry, but Brian Laundrie was not an interesting person until he became a person of interest. When I read about this couple riding around for 4 months, I thought, how lovely that would have been when I was 22. I don't remember having the freedom to just drive around the country. I had to sell drugs. I did. I was starting a career. I had to pay for it. Nobody these days seems to be up for enduring those early shitty jobs and shitty apartments we all had as a matter of course on the way to something better. One of the most popular games of the pandemic was Nintendo's Animal Crossing, a game where you don't do anything, there are no bad guys, you can't die, you can't win or lose. You just kind of fuck around. What a perfect game for this generation. But what I don't get about them is, if you think having a job is so terrible, how come you're always trying to get people fired?